Hey everybody, Mark Schultz here again. We're doing a live broadcast on LinkedIn, and I'm here with Digital Aircraft, and I'm outside today, a beautiful sunny day in Florida, and I'm standing out at the airport, and it's reminding me about the importance of operations and maintaining aircraft and launches in the morning and getting the airplane out and staying on time. And part of our conversation today is we're going to be talking about the contribution of digital task cards to the success of that maintenance operation, and I have a special guest with me today. Hey, Michael Clark, could you introduce yourself and just tell us who you are and what do you do?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Clark, and I manage business development and pre-sales activities for Aramco Systems here in North America.
Excellent. Thanks. Hey, I appreciate you joining me today. Hey, for those of you who might be watching, and maybe you do or don't know who Aramco is, but Aramco is a large company, which one of their divisions has Aviation, Aerospace globally, worldwide. I don't know, Mike, how many customers does Aramco have in that space? A lot. Do you have an idea about how many?
Yeah, so in our Aviation, Aerospace, and Defense BU, I'd say we have over 50 customers worldwide using our platform. Probably much higher than that, but 50.
Perfect. Sure. Excellent. And maybe you can just tell our viewers who are watching just a little bit about yourself, your background, so they get to know who you are and kind of what you do in that space.
Sure, absolutely. So my background starts about 14 years ago, about 14 years of IT experience, more specifically dealing with large-scale ERP implementations. The last 4 years or so have been fully immersed in the aviation industry, first with Orlando International Airport, assisting with the large-scale ERP implementation for them. And then for about the last 2.5 years or so, I've been working with Aramco Systems and, like I said, managing business development, pre-sales activities for our North American division. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Great, good. Thanks for joining me. And we're going to have a little bit of conversation about the industry, and then we're going to talk a little bit about maybe some of the challenges in implementing systems and solutions, specifically focusing on digital task cards. And then we're going to talk a little bit about a business case. So let me jump back up to the beginning. Mike, you know, I have traveled the world and I've visited airlines and MROs all over the world, and there's varying levels of people that have implemented digital task cards. You know, can you give us an idea maybe of some of the things you've seen and why people maybe do or don't implement digital task cards out there today?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, Mark. So as you know, as we're entering a more digital world, customers are looking for more streamlined solutions. We're trying to move away from the paper operations, the dirty fingerprints, trying to save the trees, so to speak. So a lot of organizations, a lot of organizations in that vein, they're looking to do that by reducing the paperwork that they produce on the shop or on the line or hangar floor. So that's why they resort to looking at task card digitization as a solution for them, not only to eliminate waste, but streamline operations as a whole. When you eliminate that paper, you eliminate the need to store that paper or transfer that document to someone else. It's all digitized into a solution where the right user access can be provisioned for them to access that. So we're definitely seeing that trend moving towards the digital task cards due to that that drive to go digital.
You know, as we have mechanics that are needing to perform work on airplanes, you know, they need to have work instructions in front of them, whether they be telling them what to do or access to maintenance manuals or engineering orders or things like that. Is that how does that help the mechanic to optimize his work situation?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you have an all-encompassing solution where you can actually ingest OEM manuals, whether those be AMMs, CMMs, EMMs, et cetera, into a platform, and then make those available to your technicians or to your mechanics or to your inspectors, it drastically streamlines the process. They don't have to go to some sort of technical library to look up a manual. If you enable some sort of mobile solution, they could actually access that digital task card directly from a mobile app. So in that respect, it really reduces the amount of time. Not only that, we can even take it a step further by augmenting those task cards to enable e-signature or electronic sign-off directly on those task cards. That then becomes part of that maintenance record and lives with it forever, easily auditable. So those are just a couple of the ways that it can make the mechanic's life a little bit easier, sort of a one-stop shop for information, as well as you know, even enabling that electronic sign-off as well.
Yeah, the right information at the right place at the right time when they needed to perform maintenance on the airplane. Absolutely. Hey, what are some of the obstacles that are preventing people from doing that out there today? What are some of the challenges that airlines and MROs are bumping up against that are keeping them from doing this?
Yeah, so I think one of the initial challenges is finding that value add. So a lot of organizations, not to say that they're in the Stone Age when it comes to their systems, but finding the value add to create a more robust platform that enables that digital task card functionality. That's really the first step. Once you're able to realize that value add, either through market research or through visiting with some of the prospects out there that deliver this type of solution, then the key becomes, okay, how can we best utilize this? Do we have the infrastructure in place? Do we have the mobile apps on the shop floor or the hangar floor? Do we have the right IT infrastructure in place? Those are the first two challenges I see. Once we're able to move past that and guide through those waters, that really opens up the door for enabling a robust solution, such as a task tart digitalization or an e-publications module. So some of those challenges, like I just mentioned, the IT infrastructure, the exploring the value add and fitting it into the budget, I think those will probably be the major ones.
Hey, how has the availability of data presented difficulties in implementation?
Yeah, so as you know, folks like to keep data close to the chest. It's no different in any other industry, just like it is here. I think the key is enabling those EDI channels to have this seamless flow of data between, for example, the OEM and the MRO, or the OEM and the operator, enabling seamless data channels such as EDI and other technologies. I think that will drastically reduce that difficulty when it comes to having the right data at the right time.
Hey, are people able to leverage the combination of PDF and structured data, HTML, XML, all those things together into a common kind of an environment?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can speak to our solution a little bit. We do actually enable the capture of structured and unstructured data. So obviously your structured data would be something like your text, whereas we actually have the ability to capture the unstructured data, such as audio, video, pictures, and things like that. And we can actually immerse them or actually put them directly into the maintenance manual themselves. As I'm sure you know, a lot of on-the-job learning or on-site learning occurs, right? So no manual is going to be the gospel. It's always going to need revisions. So we actually have the ability to take both structured and unstructured data and augment those digital task cards accordingly to keep them updated with the latest information, as well as on-site learnings as well.
Perfect. Hey, maybe you could give me a quick example of maybe a business case where you've done this, maybe a current situation, what actions were taken and what the outcome was. Could you just maybe capture something like that for our viewers real quick?
Sure, yeah, I can certainly do that. Without actually mentioning the customer name, I will say they are a long-standing customer with ours, over 15 years or so. And they recently migrated to the newer version of Ramco, which actually includes that digital task card functionality. So there were a bit of a few roadblocks in the implementation phase. We kind of had to gather the right data. We had a change in the guard, so to speak. So we had to make sure the right personnel were there and that they understood what was going on with this digital transformation that we were doing for them. But once we were able to get past that, it really became a very no-brainer situation. They're operating several types of rotorcraft helicopter. They receive revisions from the OEMs on a monthly basis, and they needed a way to capture those manuals and those revisions, as well as make them available to their mechanics on the shop floor. So this was a recent case. It was actually a recent implementation that I participated in last year, and it's going well. They've gone live in a first phase, and they continue to utilize that digital task card feature, primarily through accessing them through our mobile app and Mechanic Anywhere app.
Mobile app. So they're actually available to mechanics working on the aircraft in a mobile application.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and as I mentioned before, not only the information, but also that electronic sign-off can be done directly from those task cards.
Nice, very nice. That ought to create a lot of optimization in the situation.
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael, next week is MRO Americas, and I understand that you're going to be down there. I'm going to be down there, and I wanted to invite our viewers that if you wanted to maybe continue this conversation with the people at Ramco, they have a booth down there, and there's actually a link in this post where you could schedule a meeting, or you can send me a message, and I'd be happy to meet with you and have a conversation with you about digital and take a look at your IT portfolio and maybe some of the things that you can do to optimize your environment and to be able to go digital. It's a passion of mine and many of my business associates. And so if you're going to be at MRO Americas, I welcome you to reach out and let's have a conversation about how you can optimize your environment. It's absolutely critical with the demands that we have today with labor and skills and supplies and materials that we find ways to optimize our environment. And I want to invite you just to sit and have a conversation and we can talk about how you can do that in your environment. Michael, thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing more success in your operation.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Thanks for having me today, and I'll see you next week at MRO Americas.
Great, excellent. Fair winds and following seas to all of you. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone.